Hey guys, I want to do a little introduction video for anybody that's watched my videos or is new. I've had this channel for a while, but really haven't done much with it for the last 4 or 5 years. I'm trying to get back into some daily videos and showing what's going on and kind of give you a little introduction to what we are here at Wixon Farms. My name's Wade and I am 38 years old. I've been farming for 10 years. I used to be an auto body technician, and I also used to work in automotive insurance claims. And then 10 years ago, some ground came up and I wasn't really happy with my job. And my dad has always farmed. I grew up in the farm. So I moved back and rented 500 acres. So with my dad's ground that he owns and rents on top of that, I started farming that 500 acres. And over the last 10 years, I've added ground to that. And kind of give you a little introduction of what we are here and what we do here, and maybe just kind of day-to-day life of what we do. And we have a newborn baby. My wife Sadie and I do. She's 5 months old, so that's been a new adventure for us, trying to stay with the farm. And then we do a lot of side jobs because farming has been real great in the last 4 or 5 years for crop farming, and that's all we do here is crop farming, corn and soybeans. And we are here in southeast South Dakota, near Alcester, South Dakota. It's a very southeast corner of South Dakota, and we live right on the border of Iowa. My parents live here at the farm. I actually live in town in Hayward, Iowa, which is like 5 miles away. And then I live in town and commute out here to the farm, and we do a lot of daily jobs. We have a store in town that my wife and I run. So yeah, we'll just do a little introduction video and kind of show you. It is late August. I think it's August 27th. The crops are starting to turn, so we're going to be busy here in about a month, starting to combine soybeans and corn. We got a lot of jobs. I've been busy all summer, haven't got around to get done before harvest. I'll kind of, with this video, show you a list of jobs we got to do here before harvest, and we'll have some videos to come here in the next month of getting these jobs done, projects with machinery and getting everything ready. So yeah, we'll just do kind of an introduction video and just show you the next month of work we have to do here to get stuff ready. And thank you guys all for watching. The first project we have to do this September before harvest this is a 8400T. This was the very first tractor I bought. I think maybe 2011 I bought this tractor. It had 7,000 hours on it. It's got 10,000 hours now. And this has been our main workhorse for the last 6-7 years. It pulls a 1,000 bushel grain cart. It pulls a 42-foot anhydrous bar in the fall or spring, and it also does a lot of field work. We do like a turbo till type machine and a disc that we use a little bit. And this fall, it was on the grain cart, and it started smoking diesel smoke, like heavy diesel fumes. And it was right in the middle of harvest, and we were had to go. And I'd been looking at tractors anyways, and thinking about buying a different tractor. So I ended up buying a newer tractor, and now this is in the shop. We believe it needs injectors, so we're gonna get injectors put in this. And it's been a great tractor. Lots of sensors and odds and ends because it is a high hour machine. I buy a lot of high hour machines because simply it's what I can afford to get the newer machines. The low hour machines are way out of my price range to make it work financially. So yeah, this has been a good tractor. We're gonna put some injectors in this, and then we have to decide. We have this, an 8110 tire tractor, and then this last fall, I bought a 8310 RT. So we don't need 3 tractors, so one of these we're gonna have to sell. Once we get this fixed, we're either gonna sell this 8400T or the 8110. We're not sure yet. The 8400T has a lot more hours, and it's not quite as dependable, but it's been a good tractor, and it handles everything well. And the 8110 has been a super dependable tractor. That's why we hate to sell it, but is a little underpowered for the grain cart, and is a little underpowered for some of the tillage, but it does handle it, and it's been a great tractor. We hate to sell it because it's literally been bulletproof. And that only has 4,000 hours on it, so we got to decide. That'll come up in this next month to decide what we're going to sell. But yeah, so this is the 8400T. We're gonna get some injectors put in this, and then we'll show you, that'll be one of the main projects this next month, and I'll go back and we'll show you a few other things we have to do this fall before we're ready for harvest. So this is the 8310 RT that we picked up this fall in November. So this ran the grain cart for the second half of fall. I bought this, it had 7,000 hours. I got it for like half the price of what anything around here. This one actually came out of California. Around here, a 2012 RT tractor like this is probably $140,000, and they have only 2,000 or 3,000 hours on them, and that was way out of my price range. But this one came out of California, so they run tractors all year round in California, so they get a lot more hours. But it also brings the price way down where I can afford. And it had some issues. It was faded. We buffed it up. Can't tell now because it's dirty, but we'll get it cleaned up. The tracks were at the narrow stance, so we spread those out to 120 because we farm a lot of hills, so we like the wide stance. And we planted with it this year, and it worked good, but we had a few electrical issues. There's an electrical main power cable that comes in the back of the cab that was loose, so we didn't know, and that caused all kinds of problems, but we got that fixed. And it had problems with the hydraulic pump. We came to find out the main hydraulic pump was out, so we got that replaced. And it also had a backup hydraulic pump so that if your engine stalls, an electric 12-volt pump kicks in so you can steer and have brakes. And that went out, and that caused a lot of problems, but we got that replaced. Other than that, I think we got everything fixed on it, so it should be good to go for this fall. It pulls the 1,000-bushel Brent 1082 grain cart. The only thing we have to do on this is change the oil, and it also, this came from California, so it did not have an engine block heater on it, and here in South Dakota, the last part of harvest, it's cold. It's like 0 degrees out most of the time and it's starting to snow in the end of November, early December, so we need to I got an engine block heater for this, so we got to do that this next month. Get that put in there, and this tractor is pretty much ready to go. Combine, we traded this year to a S670. I think this is a 2017, so I believe it's the last year of the S600s. The S700s were quite a bit more money, and this one only had 300 separator hours on it. We try to buy combines with lower separator hours, but not new, so we don't take that depreciation, and then we usually trade them around 1,000 separator hours if possible. So maybe we run it 2 to 3 years. So this one's new, it's all, or new to us anyways, it's all service, so there won't be a lot to do with this. It's pretty much the same. We've run, this will be the third S670 we've had, and we've had really good luck with these combines. Only difference on this one is it's got the power folding grain extensions, so that'll be different this year. Other than that, it should be the same. We just got to get the GPS. I have all the GPS in this tractor from planting. We got to get that switched over to the combine, so we'll do that this next month. Probably go through and get this combine clean. It's pretty clean, but it hasn't been cleaned up super clean when it came from the dealer. A little disappointed in that, but we'll get it fixed up. And then that should be ready to go. And that, for combine tractor wise, the grain cart, a little bit of service. We got to grease some U-joints in that and the knuckles of the PTO and check the wheel lugs, grease any of the bearings. And that didn't get cleaned up from fall, so we'll get that all cleaned up nice. And that should be ready to go. And then we got a backup camera and a auger camera that we run, which helps a ton in these bigger grain carts trying to see into the truck. We got to get that put in this tractor and hooked up. The cameras are all still on the grain cart from last year, and then we have a scale. We'll get that hooked up in here. And we got a few odds and ends from the planter electronics, and we got to get out of the cab in this, and we'll get this tractor cleaned up nice. And then that whole setup should be ready to go. And yeah, that should be about for that. So we don't have a ton of work with that to do, but then that will be ready for harvest. And we got a new bean head this year. We have a Draper bean head. This will be the first year with the Draper. So we'll see how that works out for us, and we'll kind of go over that. But yeah, and then the corn head has a few maintenance things we'll go through on it this next month and get that ready. And that should be a lot of the stuff for this piece of machinery. The other maintenance we'll have to do is the trucks. Trucks are always a lot of work. We run 2 grain trucks. We'll go over and take a look at them. Here's the 8110. This doesn't need much for the fall. It doesn't get used a lot in the fall. We have a fall. We don't have time to do a lot of fall tillage here for the frost. We don't have extra employees or anything like that. We usually, the only people, my dad and I do most of the work, and then we have my uncle comes down from Kentucky, and he runs the grain cart in the fall. So with that, we usually don't have a lot of time, and our harvest usually goes till about the ground freezing. If some years we'll have, this might be an early year, we're really dry this year, maybe we'll get a little fall work done, and then this will get hooked onto it. And it's also our backup grain cart tractor. Any issues with the other tractor, this will handle the grain cart, the 1,000 bushel grain cart, but we've farmed some big hills and it does struggle a little bit. It's lighter. I mean, I think this tractor only weighs 25,000 pounds, while that 8310 RT weighs like 37,000 pounds without weights, and that's fully weighted. So it really helps going down hills, up hills, to have that weight to feel safe. And yeah, we farm a lot of hills, so we'll kind of, this fall will be interesting to show you guys all the hills we farm, terraces, hardly any straight rows. I wish we had some straight rows, but that's just not the ground we farm. So yeah, we'll go take a look at the trucks. So we run 2 grain trucks in the fall. We have, my dad has, I think it's like an 03 International 9200i. And we've had that truck for 10 years. That's been a great truck. It doesn't have, I think it only has 300 and some thousand miles on it, and we don't put that many miles on it. And he got a newer Wilson trailer a couple years back. I think that's a 41 foot. And then we took the trailer that used to be in that truck when we added the second truck. I bought this. Is a 99 Freightliner. So we used to have this Dakota trailer. It's a 41 foot, but it's got a lot of cracks in it, and we can't hardly trade it in or sell it, so that's why we got in our truck to haul it. Might as well keep it. We've patched up the hoppers a few times on it and stuff like that, but it's still a good trailer for the 2 months we use it. We use the other trailer a lot in the summer when we haul out of the bins. This one mainly just gets used in the fall, but this truck has an older truck. This has got like 1.2 million miles on it. It's got a Cat C12, but it's been a good truck for we've had it maybe 3 seasons. It'd be nice to have a third truck. We could use a third truck, but we just don't have the help for the drivers. I do all the trucking usually, so I bounce back and forth between the 2 trucks. I haul one load in, and then by the time I get back, they have another truck full. I dump that truck off, hop in the next one, and that pretty much is my schedule all day in the fall. So maintenance on these trucks we got to do this fall. We got to unhook them from the trailers, grease the 5th wheel plates, grease all the brakes, check the brakes, make sure everything's good. There's a few air leaks in this I'd like to see if we got time to fix. And get them all DOT inspected. And this got newer tires on it. I think both trucks, the red truck's going to need front steer tires, so we'll have to get that done. Yeah, we'll unhook them both, get them all greased up. Both of them are going to get engine oil changes. I think I got a few dash lights out on this black truck that I'd like to get fixed, so when we run in the dark I can see a little better. I think my tack and a few other gauges aren't lighting up. A few odds and ends like that. And I'd like to get, this truck has brake lines laying on the chassis. It used to have a huge sleeper on it, and some guys that owned it before me took that off. I'd like to get like a coupling unit there, and then the squiggly hoses up in the air, because I think these hoses are supposed to be off that chassis. Get that done so it's more ready to go. And this guy before me on this truck, when they took the sleeper off, they put a straight pipe on it, and it is a unloading auger off a Lexion combine. So it is loud. That's where the name Single Barrel came in. But yeah, I'd like to get a muffler on that because the day cab kit doesn't have any insulation. So with that big pipe, it really does echo in that cab. So we should get a muffler on that and see if I get that done this fall. That'd be a good project to get done. Yeah, we'll get those trucks all unhooked and in the shop this next month and gone through. Get those all ready to go. There's always a lot of stuff. The trucks are a lot of work to keep going, but you need them to get the grain in. So yeah, we'll get those done. We'll take you guys through all that maintenance this fall too. So this year for our fall equipment, the things we changed was we got a new new to us S670 combine, but it's pretty much the same as our old combine, so there won't be a lot there. But we did change heads. My dad bought a different head. We've always run 35-foot auger heads, the old traditional head. We've wanted a Draper for quite a few years, but they're crazy expensive. But there's been enough of them on the market now that the used ones are starting to come down in price, and we found this one. I think this is a 17, maybe? It's not too old, maybe 3-4 years old. We found this one at a local dealer, and so we're going to try a Draper head this year. So we'll this year you'll see how that goes, and we'll let you know what we think of that and how that improves our harvest of wet beans. And in the evenings and the mornings when it's a little dewy, it should make a big difference. So hopefully we're looking forward to trying this head out. And of course we had to buy a different trailer because The trailer I had before for the other head didn't work with the Draper head. I had to get a different brackets, and it was a lot heavier head, so we had to get a beefier trailer, so we got a different trailer there. But yeah, we're really looking forward to seeing how that head goes, and would have liked to go into a 40, but with our hills and terraces, 35 is plenty. So we'll see how that goes. We can always change that later if we ever upgrade again. So yeah. So yeah, that was a little introduction to our operation and the projects that we have going on this next month before harvest, because it's going to sneak up fast, especially the dry year. We were really dry this year, so it's going to be a little earlier, and the crops are definitely hurting from, we hardly had any rain since maybe June 20th. All of July was pretty much dry. We caught 1/2 inch here, 7/10 here, but not very much. But guys to the north of us are a lot worse off, and we didn't catch any of that storm that hit central Iowa, luckily, because those guys had crops and bins all destroyed, so we were lucky in that part. But surprisingly, for the rain we had, the crops really do look good, so I'm looking forward to getting to that and sharing all that with you guys this fall. So hopefully this YouTube channel turns out good for the viewers, and there's a lot of information out there I've learned on YouTube, so that's what I'm hoping to share with you guys, and share what a younger farmer in the Midwest raising a family and trying to survive with the crop prices we have right now and how that's going. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this channel, and hopefully I can bring you a lot of videos this next month of getting everything ready, and then this fall we'll have lots of videos of all the work we're doing this fall. Thank you guys all for watching. If you can, subscribe, and I'll keep sharing videos. Thanks, guys.